Oh. What's up, everyone? Welcome. It is Friday. It's time for another show with me. So it's going to be a fantastic night. Don't mind me. I'm just talking with my sister. So, Messenger. I haven't talked with her in a couple of days because she's too good to visit me at work. The girlfriend was there. My other sister was there. Not her. Oh, no. She was being lazy and wanted to stay home. And I know you are watching. You can't hear? Why can't you hear? You should be able to hear me. Can you hear me now? Don't say you can't hear me. If people can hear me, please let me know. If you can't hear me, let me know as well. My sister is saying that she cannot hear me. So, welcome to Kayla. Welcome to my aunts. Welcome. Hello, hello. It must be my phone. Oh. Don't mind me. So, yeah. If you can hear me, please let me know. Welcome, my grandmother. Hello. Welcome. Okay, you can hear me. Oh, so did you not get any of the stuff that I said in the beginning? Because I may have to repeat myself. So I'm putting you on blast. I'm putting my sister Kayla on blast tonight. So, yeah. Anyways. Hello to my other sister, Ashley. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, so you didn't hear what I said because I was letting everyone know that I was chit-chatting with you on my phone here and that I hadn't talked to you in a couple of days because you are lazy and you stayed home the other day. Meanwhile, your girlfriend's out shopping. She comes into my store. Samantha comes into my store. I see everybody that day. Where's Kayla? Kayla's at home. Why? Why didn't Kayla want to come out and go shopping and whatever else? So, phooey to you is what I have to say. Not fair. So, anyways, so tonight there is a guest, and we're going to be talking to him fairly soon. And I gotta get my notes here. Let me see here. So we're going to be talking with author and entrepreneur Anthony Sadana. I think that's how you say his last name. I could be wrong. It's Sadana. And he wrote the book, The Art of the Black Card, The No Bullshit Guide to Business. That is the name of the book, folks. So, and the art of the black card that he is referring to is, yes, the credit card, the black card. That only people who are successful and have money are able to get that card. So, I'm trying to work my way up to that card. Who knows? Maybe I don't even think I want one. But anyways, so he's going to be talking about that. And it's very interesting only because he talks about how he got the card, what happens after he got the card, you know, debt and all sorts of stuff. And it's very interesting. So that's why I think I want him on the show. So, yeah. So that should be cool. Can everyone see me okay? My lighting, I now have new lighting for when I do shows. Well, I have programmable lights here on each side of my screen, along with the ones next to his. Don't mind the red. It's actually not red back there. It's actually orange. So it looks like the police are here. Don't mind that. So, yeah. But anyways, we had a fantastic show last night. I got to speak with author Daniel Payton, who is here. Hello, Daniel. I'm sorry, I did not see your name there. We talked about him revamping the Winter Wizard Chronicles, which is books 1 and 2 of the Winter Wizard, with a whole new cover. I got to see the cover last night, folks. I'm not going to tell you what the cover looks like or what's on it, but I can honestly say that it is a good cover. It will work very well, and I'm happy that hopefully I won't disappear completely. So yeah. I swear the police are not here. It's supposed to look like fall colors back there in the living room, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like that. It looks red, doesn't it? So, but anyways, I was going to put up the green screen. I haven't used that in a while, but I decided not to. So yeah. So we're going to get ready for that show. It's going to be fairly interesting. If anyone has any questions, please just blurt them out. Let me know. Don't forget to like and share this video, please. The more people, the better. I think I need to share it myself, so I don't have to tag anyone because you all are here, which is fantastic. So yeah. So let me see here. I'm gonna go to my show page here and make sure. And I hope that everyone is following and liking the page that this show is on. So it tells me that people like it and that they are enjoying it. So Daniel, thanks for sharing. I'm just going to share it myself onto my regular page. I noticed that if you don't share, people won't know about it. So I have to keep reminding myself to share the page so people can tune in and watch. So, yeah. Next week, I don't have... Where is my list of guests? I normally have a list of guests. I promised you guys cooking. For some reason, it really hasn't happened. I've only had one guest so far that was remotely about food, even though it was a book, which was perfectly fine. I was supposed to have a chef yesterday, last Friday, excuse me. Unfortunately, with work conflicts and everything, I wasn't able to have the show, so I apologize. So cooking is coming, just to let you know. I have booked them all. All of September is booked, and most of them are cooking. Either they've written a cookbook, they cook at home. One is called the Crock-Pot Lady, of all things. So, she's got some recipes and cooking up her sleeve. So it's going to be fantastic. So anyways, Mark, hello, Mark. Daniel Payton, with the blue, the orange comes across with more red. Yeah, it does. These hue lights are, as you can tell, it's really annoying. I really don't like it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly change it. There, you can still see me. You can still see some of the red back there, but I have enough light so that you can see me at least. I'm just going to turn it up just a little bit there. All right, anyways. Let's see. Never forget 9/11. That's right. Today is 9/11. So a very important day. Kayla, oh, that's nice. What's nice? This here, is this nice? So my the person who takes care of all of the technology that I have and the lighting and all of that is Damien. And of course, he bought me these lights that I can control with my phone. Actually, we can control the whole house with our phone if we really wanted to. So it's pretty cool. I had to make it better. But the problem is I don't like the shadow. See the shadow behind me? It's horrible. So, yeah. Ashley says that looks better. Of course it looks better. Why wouldn't it, Ash? So, let's see. Timothy Shepard. Hello, Tim. Welcome, all of you wonderful people on here. So, thank you all for sharing this. Don't forget, this is also live on YouTube as well. I never go on YouTube and watch myself, so someone might have to go on there and just watch it and see exactly how well it is. I'm pretty sure it's the same as Facebook Live. So the only difference is you can't talk to me. Oh, actually, you can live. I forgot you can do that. So before I bring on the guest, I usually ask all of you people what you've been doing since I last spoke with you. But considering I spoke with you yesterday, I knew what you were doing yesterday, but I didn't get the chance to ask you what you've been doing for the rest of the week, only because I only talk to you on Thursdays and Fridays now. So what has everyone been up to? The weather is changing. It's getting cooler out there. The leaves are starting to change. So you know what that means. The S word will be starting soon at some point. Hopefully it takes its time and doesn't get here until before Christmas, but I have a feeling that winter will be here before you know it. So, and that turns ugly around these parts because nobody knows how to drive. So it's going to be fantastic. I can just feel it now. So, all right, what's everyone been up to? The weekend is coming. The weekend is here. I have to work, unfortunately. So, yeah, Kayla's been playing video games, cooking, going to grill out probably for the last time tomorrow. Oh, well, there you go. That sounds fun. I have not grilled out once. No, I take that back. Maybe I did once. I got rid of my grill. I didn't want it anymore. Daniel Payton, oh, I hate winter, especially living in Michigan now. That's true. You go from Tennessee to Michigan. So, yeah. It's not the same anymore. So get used to that. Does anybody have any plans for the weekend? Let me know. Like I said, I don't. I'll be working, unfortunately. So anybody? Anybody at all? I got a minute to go, and then I'm going to bring Anthony on, and we're going to chit-chat about this book. So again, if any of you have questions, don't forget to just blurt them out. I'm pretty sure that I will see them and read them for you. Depending on how Anthony is connecting, he can also see the comments when he comes on. I think some of you people forget that. So just because I don't see it, he may. So just so you know that. Which I think is pretty cool, by the way. So, yeah. I have to keep reminding myself that there is a lag. There's a delay. So I know I ask a question and then it takes like 5 minutes for everyone to answer. So, yeah, let me know what your plans are, what you guys are up to this weekend, and we'll start talking. Mark, I have this new computer, this new Mac, and everything is so small, so I have to bring it up. Mark, I have a cooking story for you. I tried to make homemade tomato soup from scratch for the first time. The all recipes showed a list of ingredients. One was 4 cloves. In hindsight, I think it was a typo. Admitted 4 cloves of garlic. I would hope so. It wasn't horrible, but I wouldn't recommend it. No, I would not eat anything with cloves. That sounds gross. So, yeah, that was obviously a typo there, Mark. So, All right, I'm not going to continue talking. I'm not going to waste any more time, so let's bring him on. Let's talk about it. So it's been a while since we've done a Friday show, so this is exciting. So how are you?
How are you? How are you doing, Brian?
I'm doing fantastic.
That's great. Thank you for having me on your show. I hope that my glasses aren't glaring too much. I can take them off for you if that's better.
No, either way is fine. So I'm assuming that you're able to see the comments on the side of the screen.
I can. I can see the comments. I can see you. I'm all set up. I'm ready to go.
Perfect. Perfect. So thanks for coming on. I wanted to talk about this book. The story behind it sounds interesting.
Thank you.
That's as far as I got. I was not able to start reading the book. I noticed it's on Kindle Unlimited.
It is.
And I do have that. But unfortunately, my Unlimited, you're only allowed 10 books, I believe, at a time. So you have to give one back and either to read another free one. So I quickly had to read something and either to get yours. So
I didn't realize that, but I'm sure if you reached out to my publishing company, they'll be glad to send you a copy of the book. I'm sure they'll get you one out pretty fast.
Oh, I'm sure if I asked for one, I'm pretty sure that they would give me one. Most authors, they do off, the PR people, they usually will offer, I can get you a digital copy or a hard copy, No, it's all right. I don't mind buying the book or getting it on Kindle Unlimited. So, yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So tell me about this book.
So, Brian, it's called The Art of the Black Card, the No Bullshit Guide to Business. And I started my first company when I was 15 years old. Probably by the age of 18, I made my first $1 million through a lot of hard work and perseverance. And over the past few years, I've seen a lot of these fake gurus come out, these sort of, YouTube gurus, Instagram gurus, these people that, are giving business advice and trying to tell people how to either get rich quick, how to invest their money, but really have no practical knowledge. I've been doing what I've been doing for over 20 years. I've owned probably 50 or 60 different companies in my life. I've dealt with some of the biggest companies in the world like Lockheed Martin and Pepsi, and I've dealt with a lot of very small mom and pop shops as well. And I felt like people needed a truth. People needed to know what it really was like to be an entrepreneur, what it is really like to be an entrepreneur, and that it's not about taking $100 and turning it into $1 million. That you're going to have a lot of hard work on the way, and there is no such thing as a get rich quick scheme.
I've noticed there's a lot of that.
There is, and it's everywhere. And you know what? Every time I go on YouTube, every time that I go on Instagram, there's some guy showing his bank account balance saying, "Hey, do you want to make $110,000 a month?" Grab me my book. There's, I want to show your audience my book. I usually grab it when I do an interview, and for some reason, so you know what? I reached out to my husband. I say, "Hey, grab me my book." So, there's a lot of these fake entrepreneurs out there, and I started by doing YouTube videos, started by doing an Instagram following, and I say, you know what? I want to write a book. I want to show people that, there are, there's some real work that needs to be done if you want to achieve financial success, and it's not going to be easy. And this is my book, so it's The Art of the Black Card, the No Bullshit Guide to Business. I think what's great about my book is that I don't just talk about the successes I've had. I talk a lot about the failures, and I talk about how those failures have driven me harder and turned me into the person I am today, whether that's for good or bad, of course.
Mm-hmm. So where'd this book come from? How did you write the book?
I didn't know where to start in my life. I wasn't sure what point in my life would be a good starting point and what point in my life would interest people. And I decided to start the book a little later on in my life when I went to boarding school, and I opened up my first business in boarding school by, buying candy and soda at the grocery store and selling it to the kids on campus and to the teachers on campus. On a Saturday night in a boarding school in the middle of New Hampshire, I was the only place to get a can of Coke on a Saturday night. So, I think it shows how the entrepreneurial spirit was really born into me, and how this is something that, it wasn't something that anyone taught me. It was something that was just part of me. And I had to learn along the way, what it took to, through trial and error, what it took to be successful.
What do you need me to do?
Sorry.
That's okay. I think one of your devices just went off.
Yeah, it did. I was moving my hand, my watch here. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, because like I told you, I read the background, and
According to Wikipedia, Brandon Bruce Lee was an American.
All right, I'm going to take you off. There was a lot of, like you say, you talk about your failures and stuff. So I mean, which I'm assuming you wrote it because you had the card, right?
Correct. Are you talking about the black card?
Yes.
So yes, there's, one of, let me touch on that and tell you why I named my book after the Black American Express. For those people that don't know in your audience what it is, the Black American Express is an American Express that's invite only, and very few achieve it. And I felt like the Black American Express is a pinnacle. It really says to somebody, you know what, you've done okay. It's a certain achievement that, although it's pretentious, it sort of says that you've done something better than your colleagues, or you've achieved a certain level of financial security or success. The reason that I named my book after The Art of the Black Card was because I wanted to tell people how I got the black card at the age of 22 or 23. I forget which one in the book. How I got my black card at the age of 22 on my own esteem, on my own achievements. But also, there's so much mystery about the black card. So many people don't know what the Centurion card is. It's not very common out there. It's by invite only. It's very hard to get information about the card and what the card is. Even if you go on their website, American Express does not talk about it. So I wanted to put a title on a book that had a bit of mystery to it itself, and hopefully would get people to pick up the book and read about my journey to the black card, but not only my journey to the black card, but my journey through life and my journey through to success.
Absolutely. I tried to do some research myself. I have heard of the card. Unfortunately, I have not been invited yet. But there really wasn't much to go on. So, everyone talks about that unlimited card, and it just doesn't exist and whatever. And I didn't even think it was a real thing, to be honest with you, until I saw, your name pop up and what your book was about and stuff. So I'm like, oh, maybe it does exist. So yeah, I'll definitely have to have him on to talk about it. So
I believe
that card's got to be dangerous.
You know what? It is and it isn't. And if you're talking about it being dangerous in terms of having it because, you want to use it and you want to spend with it, yes, you can get in a lot of trouble very fast. And I talk about that in my book. You can definitely get in a lot of trouble very fast with it. And I think that that's more relevant maybe 8 or 10 years ago, where you were pulling out the card and everybody was handling your card, more than today, where nobody really touches your card and everything is, tapped and swiped without anybody knowing. So it is dangerous to a certain point, but I think that if you're a trusted card holder, they realize that, you're able to meet your financial obligations, even if you get yourself into, a little extra spending.
Yeah. Yeah, I can just imagine. So maybe it's a good thing I have not been invited. So
yes, it's a good thing most people haven't. It can get you in trouble very easy.
Yeah. So the book talks about the card. It also talks about, failures that you've had, and then everything that you've been doing this for 20 years now or something like that?
Yeah, so I started this business when I started my businesses when I was 15 years old. And what those businesses have evolved to today is completely different than what I had started that many years ago. The book really chronologically talks about my life in terms of how I started, where I started to run into some challenges in the business world, and how I got back up and lifted myself back up and rebuilt everything from scratch. And that's, without giving too much of the book away, that's really the idea of the book, is that it's going to take a lot of hard work to get where you want to get to. But if you put the work in there and you put in the effort, and you'll if you keep chugging along, you'll get to where you want to get to.
So is this the book to read if you are wanting to start something on your own? And is this some sort of advice for people to do something like that?
I really think that no one is going to be able, it's not a book where I tell you you have to do A, B, C to equal D. You're not going to be able to take my personal journey and copy that and then run with it. This is going to be the kick in the ass that you were waiting for. This is going to be the difference of sitting on your sofa and watching a movie on a Friday night, or trying to do something entrepreneurial and helping you reach that entrepreneurial goal. I believe one of my last sentences, and please don't quote me, and I wish that I knew it off by heart, but I believe one of my last sentences in the book says something along the lines of, you had a bad day, fine, fuck you, get up, get back to work, and move on with your life. And it's very crude. I had somebody read it who said, it's a little crude, it's a little to the point, but I understand where you're coming from. And I've had other people read it that have said, this book was exactly what I needed to get me off my ass and to inspire me to do something. I'll tell you that two of the greatest compliments I've gotten happened during COVID. And I'd love to elaborate on those. Do I have a few minutes to elaborate on those on the book? Great. So two of the compliments that I got during COVID, and one came from my publisher out of everybody. And my publisher has thousands of books that he could pick up. And he said, COVID hasn't been great to us. It's hurt us a little bit. He said, I was in my office on a Friday night trying to wonder how I'm going to keep the doors open and what I'm going to do. And he said, I picked up your book. He said, and I read that last chapter, and he said, your book kept me going. He said, your book was an inspirational light. And he said, that should mean a lot to you, because he said, I have 5,000 business books that I can pick up. And he said, it was your book that I picked up and your book that I used to inspire me. And I got the same sort of thing from my doctor, who is in the concierge medical service in Vegas. And he said, you know what? COVID has killed me. And he said, I picked up your book one night, and he said, I read it. And he said, your book made me realize that, you've been through more and you've come out okay, that, that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And it's helped me sort of move on.
Well, that's good. That's always good to hear. So you want your book to do good. So, and to hear positive things about it. So absolutely.
Of course.
When did the book come out?
Brian, the ISBN is for 2019, but with COVID, I was only able to get it printed and out really in probably May, middle May. I think I started to receive the first copies of the book. So It is fairly new. It's hasn't been out for too many months. But for the people that have read it, I think that people who do read it are taking action after reading it. And it's being compared to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is one of the greatest entrepreneurial business books written. And I take that as a huge compliment. Most people who have read that book and then read my book say, wow, this is as inspirational. And I definitely can see a connection between them. And I have to say, I've never read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So anyone that thinks that I've read it and then wrote my book, I haven't read it.
And I noticed in the title, there's 2 T's.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I almost missed it. I wanted to correct Amazon when I copy and pasted to find the book or whatever. And I'm like, there's not 2 T's in there. Why is it? And then I saw it. So what's that all about?
I've done 25 interviews this month, and you're the first person ever to ask about that double T. You're the first person that ever picked up on it and said, "Hey, I've noticed two T's. Why two
Yeah.
T's?" I think that there is an art to the black card, which is the ART. That double T is there for a reason, and it really stands for my name, which is Anthony Ryan. And then the double T is transforms tomorrow. And if you watch my YouTube videos on YouTube, you'll see that every video I end with, and keep watching. I'm going to transform how you see tomorrow. And this transforming tomorrow just kept being part of everything that I did. And I really wanted to include that. And originally, the name of the book was The Art of the Black Card, single T.
Yeah.
And it was my father who said, you have this constant, transform tomorrow in everything you do. My shirt, transform tomorrow, my hat, all of my media is transform tomorrow. He said, you have to work that in there. And he came up with, not my publishing company, and everybody, when he came up with it, said, wow, that's great. And he said, you got to put it in there, but put it in there subtly. And that's what I did. So it's, the double T is for transform tomorrow, and art is the art of the black card and the art of learning business.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Like I said, I noticed it, and it was, like you said, subtle. So I'm like, there's got to be a meaning behind this. So, yeah. How long did it take you to write the book?
So it took me about a year, I think. I originally set out, and I thought that I would knock out a book in 2 or 3 months. I had, tons and tons of business stories and tons of experiences, and I felt like, I could knock out a 300-page book in a month. And it's actually more difficult than that, coming up with things that are going to interest the reader, coming up with material that's going to keep the reader interested in what I'm doing. That's not so easy. So although a first proof does not always take very long, it really takes, once you've got that first proof and you start editing and you start going through it and reworking it, it took me about a year to get it on the table. And I think hearing from most publishers, that's about the average, is about a year of work to get a book out.
So how do you go from running all these businesses to deciding to write a book?
A lot of back pain after 20 years of doing it. I'm a licensed auctioneer by trade. Most of my life has been, most of my business has been auctioning, as well as working in bankruptcies and distressed merchandise. And I always thought to myself that I had a lot of good stories, that I had a lot of good of ideas that other people can share. And most of all, I think, and I don't remember, I believe that your channel is GLBTQ orientated, and I don't remember if yes, correct, to your audience. Most of it, and I hate to say it, it's come from dating younger men, ages 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, that all want to know how I did it. That's their first question. You meet them, you go for a drink. It's always, how did you do it? How did you turn into what you are today? How can I do it? How can I be inspired? And that's really why I wrote the book. I think that's one of the biggest reasons, is I saw that there was a need out there for somebody in the GLBTQ community to inspire other young entrepreneurs to reach their maximum, their goal, and to do what they, to inspire them to do what they can do. What was your first? Would you like me to read that comment and then answer to that?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So Ashley McKnight asks, what was your first business and how well did it do? So, I mean, my first business, like I touched on at the beginning of the interview, unfortunately, it was very small. It was buying soda pop, snacks, chocolate bars, and so on, and other little snacks from the grocery store, and reselling those at my boarding school. And I was probably 13 or 14 at the time, if you want to call that a business. It's more of a hustle. And I turned $300 into $1,000 a month. And back then that was a lot more than $1,000 is now. And I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
I think that my first real business, if we talk about real business, is when I realized that I had a knack for dealing with other people's trash, dealing with what other people have disregarded psychologically, mentally, or not, and turning that into a profit.
Mm-hmm.
And my first business was a cafe. It was a cafe. It was one of the hardest businesses I've ever run in my life. I served sandwiches. I served coffee. I had 6 or 7 tables. I bought it at a bankruptcy sale for $21,000. At the time, I was dating a police officer. He would finish his shifts, come come to the cafe, help me clean up at night and prep. I was there from 7 till midnight, probably 7 days a week. The worst business I've ever owned. I sold it after 6 months for $195,000. So I made $170,000 plus, whatever money I made in between. And that's what really clicked in my mind and said, hey, there's money to be made when something has gone bankrupt. There's money to be made when someone has disregarded something. It's easy to take that and turn it into a profit. I then went from doing that cafe to doing a UPS store, which I know everybody in your audience knows what a UPS store is. And a franchisee had bought it. He had gone bankrupt with it. UPS came to me and said, well, would you take it? I think I bought that for probably, I think it was $30,000, and I believe I sold it for 295 5 or 6 months later. But in between, I produced at least 70 or 80,000 in revenue because I didn't hire employees, because I didn't spend stupidly. I kept my expenses tight. I did everything myself. I packed the boxes, shipped the boxes, because I knew that my ultimate goal was to resell, and the numbers had to be good. So I think those were my first 2 real businesses, and that sort of put me on the track that I am today.
That's a big difference to go from a cafe to, shipping boxes.
If I told you everything that I've done in my life, you wouldn't believe it. But I think that when you have an entrepreneurial spirit and you know how to do business, it doesn't matter what you're selling. You can apply it to anything. And in my book, I talk about Pepsi calling me at 11 o'clock at night on a Friday night saying, hey, we have, 12 trucks of product about to expire. Can you take it off our hands? Where I've had Macy's call me at 10 o'clock at night and say, hey, we have 35 trucks of furniture. We need it gone tomorrow. What's it going to take for you to take it? I think that if you know how to do business with one thing, you know how to do business with everything. And I've dealt with Lockheed Martin with fighter jets, selling parts for fighter jets. I've dealt with Pepsi, and I've dealt with, mom and pop closing up shop and selling their comics to me because they don't know what they're going to do with it. So I think if you have that entrepreneurial spirit, you can apply it to anything. It doesn't matter what's put in front of you. And I think most people don't realize that, and most people are afraid to touch what they don't know.
Right. Yeah. Is there any education behind this? Did you go to school for business or anything like that?
So I did not. I knew from a young age that I wanted to work for myself. Although I do have a degree from a very prestigious university, it has nothing to do with business. My degree is in political science, international relations, and that's from the University of Ottawa, capital of Canada. So I went into their political science program. I thought that if my life didn't work out in the way that I expected it to, I can fall back into politics, and possibly going into that program in the capital of Canada, you're pretty much guaranteed that you can work in politics, work for the government after. And I thought to myself, that might be a route to go. When I graduated from university, I was hired by the US consulate, and I worked for the US consulate for probably 6 weeks before I said, this isn't for me. I don't want to work for somebody else. I'm going to go out there and build something for myself. And I rather make $8 an hour for myself than make $12 an hour working for somebody else. And that's been my motto my entire life.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I can feel you on that one. So with the book, what is the one thing that you would like the reader to take away from the book?
If you think like a failure, you will be a failure. And I know that's harsh to say. If you keep your mind at it, if you knew how many times I found myself in my life without a pot to piss in, and without anything to fall back on, with, being so down that I don't think I could hit more rock bottom even if I tried.
Yeah.
And I got back up the next day, and that inspired me to work even harder and rebuild. It's only now, after losing money in transactions and, failing as well as succeeding, that I know that I have a better direction of what to go in. I'll give you an example. Even 6 months ago, I lost $92,000 in one day on the stock market in a very stupid mistake. And I'll tell you, I'll never make that mistake again. And sometimes the losing money and failing is the best teacher. If you think of that lost money as an education at Harvard, and you say, you know what, I tried something, I lost $10,000, but I didn't get an education from Harvard, and what I learned, they would have never taught me anyways. And you take it as a lesson, you can always make more money, but you have to be willing on getting back up and getting back at it the next day.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure everyone here hopefully knows that not everything goes smoothly when dealing with money. You're going to lose money at some point. It's bound to happen. We all lose money, but I can't imagine losing $92,000. So yeah,
you have to say to yourself that if that transaction worked out, and I would have probably made $1 million that day, and you're willing on taking that money and you're willing on taking that risk, then you have to be a big boy about losing the money as well. Same thing at the casino. And I live in Las Vegas. I know that I probably didn't mention that at the beginning of this video, but I'm based in Las Vegas. And I always say, if you're willing on taking the casino's money, if you win, you have to be willing on giving the money up and walking away like a big boy if you lose at the end of the night.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Oh boy. Oh boy. Anybody have any questions? I know you guys have been just throwing them out there. Come on. You guys always have questions. Shoot them out there.
I know I don't have any cooking recipes tonight for anybody. I saw that you have a lot of people coming on with cooking books. Unfortunately, I cannot give you any cooking recipes tonight. But if anyone has any questions in regards to financial advice, investing, stock market, anything at all, please go ahead and ask.
So speaking of investing,
Kayla always loses at the casinos.
What is your take on these apps that allow you to invest? Like Acorn,
are you talking?
Or, I don't know if you've heard of these.
Acorn's the biggest scam in the world, and the other one is whatchamacallit, Robinhood.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
You've never heard of Robinhood? Wow, that's the most popular of them.
Yeah.
So, can I borrow 92,000? Sure. So, I think that they have their place, but I think unfortunately they're all out for themselves. Acorn has a service fee that's attached to it monthly, and you won't earn enough interest with Acorn to ever justify that service fee that they charge. And if they offered their services for free, possibly, but would they succeed without a fee? No. I actually had a huge argument with Acorn a few weeks ago. I was at a gas station and it said, sign up with us. You get $15 Acorn. I said, I'll get $15. What do I care? And it ended up being eaten up by their $2.50 fee that they charge. And I told them that that the amount of money that you would need to earn interest on in order to earn that fee every month and for it to justify a junior investor is ridiculous, and that would never happen. So they're basically out just to make their own money. I do want to talk as well about Robinhood. Robinhood, almost everybody uses. I don't know anyone that doesn't use Robinhood. And I'm always telling them that Robinhood is, I would definitely be careful with Robinhood. Robinhood is an application that you can trade stocks on, and it allows you to trade for free. The thing is that nothing is ever for free. And what I believe Robinhood does, and this is my personal opinion and I cannot prove it, but I believe that if you put an order in to buy, let's say you want to buy American Airlines, and you put an order in at $12.50, okay, to buy it, they will underbuy it prior to completing your order. I think that if you go to sell at $12.50, they will wait until the stock is at $12.60 before completing your $12.50 order, making 10 cents on each of your stocks. And although that seems very minimal, there's millions and millions and millions of transactions a day. And I think that's how they're ultimately making their money, is they're buying and selling at a lower rate, and they're only completing your transaction. They're only filling your order once they've made a profit. And if they can't guarantee a profit on it, they don't do that as well. If you look back in April, we had 2 giant days in the stock market. I think, on one day I made $40,000 or $50,000 just on the airline stocks. And I know these are big numbers. On those 2 days, Robinhood was completely down. Error, problem with the system. Nobody could trade, and it just happened to be on the 2 biggest trading days of the year, the 2 days that everybody, thank God that they were a trader and they all made a ton of money. Robinhood wasn't working. So I think that it's a very well thought out app, and I think that they offer free trading, but I think that they do it at a cost. And I think that for someone who's trading for a few $100, that's fine. But if you're trading in the thousands of dollars, you want to be using a professional, something that has a bank behind it.
Right. Okay. All right. I use Public. I think it's called Public.
What are you investing in with Public?
I did a couple of them. I did Amazon. I did Netflix. And then I did a couple of JetBlue. I love JetBlue. I love
JetBlue. I love JetBlue. Yeah, I like it too.
And then with the whole COVID thing happening, I was buying up JetBlue like crazy. So, I mean, we're not talking, I didn't invest thousands of dollars, but hundreds of dollars I invested. Something's got to give here. People are going to fly because their rates are going to go down. Everyone's going to want to fly, even though they.
Can I ask, what I know JetBlue stock very well. What were you buying at, approximately?
I believe it started at $9 and some change.
Yeah. Oh, that's low. Yeah, that's low.
Yeah. So, I'm losing.
Have you sold or?
I have not sold anything. I've kind of left it alone. I was in the green for a while. My phone will tell me when the market's about to open and when it's going to close. And, I check it periodically. I'm in the green. I'm good. It's probably cents I'm making. I don't know. But
I sold JetBlue yesterday. I finally parted from my JetBlue, but I made some okay money on it. And I bought it at 9. I sold it at 13. I bought it again at 10, sold it back at 13, bought it at 11, sold it at 13.5. So I think the trick is sometimes you got to grab your profits when they're there and then reinvest.
I was thinking of it. I was waiting. And of course, sometimes you wait too long, then it's in the red. Because I also bought Disney as well. A couple of Disney, which is not doing very well at the moment, but yeah.
I've bought Disney as well. Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Mulan, I think things would have been okay. But people are not too happy that you have to pay an extra $30 just to watch the movie when you're already paying the fee to have Disney Plus in the first place. So I'm not watching Mulan anytime soon. I'll wait till December. I'm not paying that extra $30. So because it was on Publix, it shows the news of what's happening with the stocks and everything. And as soon as that hit, that was it. Disney went in the red, and I'm like, gosh darn it, come on. So
I would tell anybody right now that if you want something good to make money in, buy as much American Airlines as you can. It's not going bankrupt. The government will never let it go under. It's a great buy. Take every penny you have, put it in American Airlines, and just wait. Wait a year and a half. It'll go back to $30. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when, and you will very rarely for the rest of your life have a secured investment that you're 100% guaranteed to double or triple your money like you do with American Airlines. American Airlines has saved me through the entire COVID. I have a YouTube video where I talk about making, I think, $100,000 during the first 60 days of COVID on the markets, and that's mostly because of American Airlines, and I would still recommend people buy it. Amber has Disney, Nike, and BD, very good Very good stocks. Disney's great. I love Disney. I would buy Disney all day long. Nothing's happening with Disney. They're not going anywhere, and they have a great cash flow, enough to see them through 5 years of a depression if need be, and cash flow is everything. So Disney's a great one to buy.
Absolutely. So, I mean, besides stocks, I'm pretty sure that, people ask about credit cards. They ask about, what to do with, that sort of stuff. Is there too many cards? Is there a certain card that you recommend,
Credit cards. Credit cards are not always my specialty, although my book is based on a credit card.
Yeah.
I got a letter from Bank of America 2 days ago telling me that they closed my credit card because I just don't use it. And that was my third letter this year telling me that I got my credit card closed because I just don't use it.
Right.
I have cards, and I don't know why I have these cards. I really don't believe in credit card debt at all. I will say that what works really well for me is a charge card, and you don't have to have a black charge card. From American Express, they have a low level, no fee, free annual use charge card. What I like about charge cards is what you spend, you have to pay. If you buy something for $500, you have to pay $500. If you buy something for $10, you have to pay it at the end of the month. There's no minimum payment, no carrying a balance. You don't pay it, you lose the card. And I think that that's the best way to live your life, is you should buy what you can afford. And by using a charge card, I think that that's a great way to do that. It really helps you manage your expenses, because you know that whatever you put on, you have to pay at the end of the month.
Absolutely. I go through it every month, so I know. So, do you recommend that people pay when the statement comes out or before?
I do a little bit of both. I have a Apple card that recently came out from Goldman Sachs, the Apple credit card, and that's attached to your iPhone. And if I put something on there, last night I ordered Uber Eats and it got charged on there for $38. I will go on there tonight before I go to bed and I will pay the $38. But if it's my charge card with American Express, I will wait till that bill comes out and then I will pay that bill in full. Why? Because a company like American Express wants to see that you're capable of making one large payment. They don't want to see dribs and drabs coming in, whereas a regular credit card doesn't care. They just want to be paid, and you want to save interest. So I think it depends what kind of credit you're using and how you're using it. But I think that if you can afford to pay it off right away, pay it before the bill comes out. I think if you have a charge card, specifically with American Express, you want to definitely wait until the bill comes out. They want to see that you're able to pay your monthly charges in one shot and you're not nervous about it and prepaying it.
Right. Unfortunately, I have a lot of credit cards. I shouldn't, but I do, and I keep them all pay, and I don't wait for the balance to come out. I usually pay them ahead of time. I got approved for American Express, and I was kind of excited. I've never had American Express, but the thing that got me is that there was no balance. So most of my credit cards say you have 5,000, you have 10,000. This card was like no balance whatsoever. So I got worried. What's that?
No, they didn't extend a credit limit because it was a charge card, right?
Yes.
Can I ask which card it was?
It wasn't the black one. I know that.
Was it the gold, platinum, green, the Bonvoy?
It wasn't Bonvoy. I know that. It was their card. I want to say it was gold. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay. So you had a charge card from American Express. All right.
Yeah. And because most of my other cards have, those limits, this had no limit. So I had to call them and say, I was approved. I know it was approved. I got your email. I got it in the mail. There's no limit. What is my limit? And she says, there is no limit. So if you want something and it's going to cost you, you have to call and we'll see that, if we can approve that purchase or whatnot. She says, you can still use it as a regular card though. And I didn't like it, so I closed it. So it kind of scared me. So with no limit, whew.
The way American Express works with the charge cards is that they watch your spending for the first 90 days. And based on how much you spend for the first 90 days, that's how they base your limit. So how it works for a 12-month period, or at least once you have 12 months of spending in place, is that your 12 months is what your limit is. If you spent $72,000 in 12 months and paid off 72,000, then your limit is $72,000 a month. And until you've increased that annually and you've spent and paid $1 million, then your limit's $1 million. So they wouldn't have let you get into too much trouble. They probably set you at $2,000 or $3,000. And when you paid that, you would have had access the next month to 5,000. And when you pay that, you would have had access to 8,000. And then you would have had access to 20. And that's the way it works, is that the more you spend on the card, the more you pay, the more access you have to it.
Oh, I'm getting the 5-minute warning. Oh boy. Look at this. All right. Well, that's good to know, because I didn't honestly know. So I just had him close the card like next
That's
day.
okay.
Yeah. No.
She
She goes, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure." I said, I don't like this no limit stuff. So plus I had enough cards as it is. So and for some reason I just keep adding cards and cards and cards. So
whatever works for you, Brian, that's what you got to do.
That's right. So I know that you can find this book on Amazon. I posted it so everyone can see it. Is there any other place besides Amazon that your book is available?
So the book is available on eBay.
Okay.
It's available on Amazon, both electronically and print. And then it's also available on my website, which is artonline.com, ARTTARTT online.com. You can go on my YouTube channel, ARTT Online. I'm actually posting a new video tonight. My Instagram, if you want to follow me on Instagram, there's a lot of great posts. ARTT Online again. You can find me on everything with ARTT Online. eBay and Amazon are the best marketplaces to buy it on. You can also buy it on the website through PayPal if you'd like.
I know you mentioned YouTube. So what exactly do you talk about in your channel?
I did a video today that's going up, and it's how to take $100 and turn it into 1,000. That's going to be my video tonight. My video a few weeks ago was how to survive the coronavirus, the COVID crisis financially. I did another video right before that, how to trade during COVID. So can you make money without having any money to invest? Should you invest with friends? Should you invest with family? Each video is different, and it really talks about what you shouldn't and shouldn't do, through different financial decisions in your life.
Good to know. Good to know. I'm definitely.
And people can always hit me up through DM on Instagram and ask me messages, financial questions, and so on. I will always answer.
Well, that's good to know. That's always good to know. I'm pretty sure that people have some more questions. I would hope you have more questions. I know some of my viewers are leaving because a friend of mine does a show at 9:00 on so they're all like jumping ship here.
That's okay.
Fridays are new for me. I never did shows on Friday, but for some reason I have like this influx of guests that want to come on. So I've had to go from just 1 day to 2 days. So people are still getting used to it. So
that's good. And you're providing a great service to authors and whoever it is that you're interviewing, to help them have an avenue to promote it. I definitely like that you're specifically based on the LGBT community. There are not many channels out there for authors to really put themselves out there as a member and promote their book.
And here's the thing. I've been doing this this is my second show. My first show, my co-host and I did for 4 years. So, and that was a subject that just wasn't really touched upon. I don't think she was against it. Obviously, you're friends with me, but we just never had guests on, that was part of that community or whatever. So when I broke away from her, and now I've been doing this since February, right. I didn't have any guests on from the LGBT community. So I wanted to incorporate that somehow, my community, and do that, because now I'm by myself. I can do whatever I want. So I did put the request out there, if there's any authors or people that just want to come on and talk about whatever, please, be my guests. You are the only second person to come on the show. So That is it.
I do want to mention that I do talk about my coming out experience in the book. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
do talk about being an entrepreneur and coming out and having to deal with that in a world where I'm dealing with a lot of uh, uh, presidents of companies and vice presidents of companies who know that I'm openly gay, but are not themselves, and it's new for them to have to deal with somebody who, in such a large transaction, who is. And I definitely touch upon that in my book as well. I wanted to mention that.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That's good to know, actually. So I think I'm going to enjoy reading this book. I have to read this book now. So,
Brian, if you want a copy of the book, you can reach out to my publisher and just ask them to send you a copy, and they'll be more than happy to send it to you. I'd really like if you read it, and I'd love if you talk to your audience about your experience with the book and tell them about your thoughts on it. I'm sure they're curious as well, and hopefully some of your audience members will go out there and get the book as well.
I'm pretty sure since COVID has happened, I've had a lot of authors on the show because nobody has anything else really better to do with their time than read, because most people are still, in home, not going anywhere. A lot of states are still in that kind of a lockdown-ish feel. I mean, we're Massachusetts, that's where I am. We are, in phase 3, so we're able to go out and do whatever. Masks are mandatory, so people are now starting to go back to work or trying to find work when the rest of the country is still in different phases. So I've noticed that authors are the way to go, because it's reading, and we don't have anything else better to do. So, and I always tell people that if you buy the book from Amazon, leave a review, because it's very important. It lets the author know what you think of the book. And of course, because I've become a big reader, I read the reviews before I kind of decide whether or not I'm going to take the book or not. So,
well, you'll notice, and I don't know anybody that's left a review on Amazon. I'm not a big fan of Amazon. I love eBay. I talk a lot about my life with eBay in my book, and I put my book on Amazon sort of out of force and sort of out of necessity more than out of want. And anyone I know, I tell them to buy the book on eBay because I prefer eBay. But I will tell you that all the comments on Amazon are not me. It's not my publishing company. It's nobody that I know, and it's all 5-star comments. It is legitimate readers that have really gone and bought the book and left their comments on what they think about the book. And I'm astonished when I look at them, because I always say, wow, this seems to be such a positive experience for so many people. And these aren't people that I know. These aren't people that I paid or asked them to leave a review. I tell people stay away from Amazon with a 10-foot pole. So these are legitimate comments, and if you look at them, they're people definitely are having positive experiences with my book.
okay. So I won't tell you that I'm an Amazon Prime member, and
most people are. That's okay. That's okay. Most people are. They live their lives by Amazon. I stay away from it.
I do. Yeah, I love Amazon. I think because of COVID, I started shopping with them more, but it was more easy. eBay, I'm on eBay. I love finding lots of things on eBay. So yeah, but I wouldn't know to find a book on eBay though. Yeah, other stuff that people are trying to get rid of. That's what I always assumed eBay was. So now you're kind of changing the way
I buy anything that you buy on Amazon, I buy on eBay. Everything available on Amazon is available on eBay. Every Amazon seller sells the same product on eBay. My book is actually, I believe, $2 cheaper on eBay with free shipping than it is on Amazon. I believe that it is a little cheaper on eBay because I control that inventory and I ship it out. And usually if somebody buys it on eBay, I'll sign the book before sending it out if they request.
Awesome. All right. Well, then I'll have to go to eBay. Thank you. That way
you can still leave a review on Amazon, though. Don't worry.
Okay, I will. If anyone else has any last questions, now's the time. Ask away. I think we've pretty much covered anything. everything.
I've covered a lot of different topics during
Yeah,
our hour here.
that's good.
I would imagine that I've probably touched on almost everything that everybody is thinking of. I would think at this point, most people are thinking to themselves, can I get the book? And I want to read the book and I want to see what the book is about. And will this book inspire me and change my life in a positive way?
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Well, if no one else has any other questions, so I do have one last question. I ask everyone this last question. Because of COVID, is there anything that you've been doing that you normally would not have done had it been for COVID? Any bad
Do you mean
habits?
that? Do you mean that in a business perspective, or?
No. Well, I guess if you wouldn't have done like a bad habit or something, like people turn to puzzles, reading, they're binge watching shows that they never would have watched before, like anything like that. I've
You
got some
know,
crazy answers. So,
I'm a homebody. I love my home. I'm home 24 hours a day. If I go out to eat and I come back home and I just love being home. I love to research stocks. I love to research business things. I will tell you 2 weeks before COVID hit, I built a brand new home and I moved into that home, just before the lockdown happened in Vegas. And I was very lucky that I got a pool in the ground right when they were stopping to work and my pool was done. So I have to tell you that the past 5 months, unfortunately, they've been spent out of the pool, tanning, and swimming. All of my YouTube videos are done out by the pool as well. So I don't think I've incurred any bad habits. I think that I've just become a little lazier, and I have a source for that laziness.
well, yeah, if I had built a brand new pool, I would definitely be using it. So,
There
yeah,
you go.
yeah. Well, if anyone has any questions after it airs, you can always still comment. I will see the questions, and like he said, you can find them on Instagram, and you're on everything, I've noticed. So
I'm on everything. Please, everybody out there, at least go out and follow me on Instagram. Following me on Instagram, you can keep up with what I'm doing. You can see what I'm doing. I have some great pictures on there, some great posts, and definitely I do some live sessions once in a while on Instagram. Go out there, follow me, ARTT online. It's very easy. Art Online double T to find me on Instagram and follow me. And you'll find something interesting on there. I'm sure that interests you.
ARTT online. There you are. That was
There
easy.
you go. It is.
All right. If I can follow, you can follow. Everyone follows me, so follow him. So yeah. Well,
thank you very much. Thank you for having me on your show, Brian. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Any other time you want to come back on and talk about something, please do.
I've done a lot of shows this month, and I have probably another 20 for the rest of the month. And I have to say, you're one of the shows that I will come back to. I actually really enjoyed this. I felt like your audience was very engaging, and you're one of the shows that I definitely will come back to.
Perfect. I love hearing that. So, yeah. All right. That is it.
All right. Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you to everyone in your audience for watching. And, go out there, read the book, and get the book. And I'd love to hear what you thought about it once you do.
Absolutely. I will let you know. All right, everyone. Oh, Ashley. Yep. Have a great night. Most of these people I know. So let's see. My sister, my grandmother.
No.
Everyone. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Barbara's my grandmother. Ashley, Kayla, Heather. Those are all my sisters. Daniel Payton is another author.
David's my husband.
I had a feeling. That's good. Mine's somewhere's doing something. So yeah. All right. Well,
all right, Brian. I'll let you go. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Have a nice evening. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, there you go. It was interesting. And of course, I ran over in time. I didn't mean to do that, so I feel sorry for Daniel. But when you get talking to I can't even talk anymore. See, I've talked too much. An interesting person, you just kind of keep going. So, and that's the good thing about this show is you can kind of just keep going. David, I wish to have met you maybe next time, but thank you for coming and watching, and hopefully he had a great time on this show. I try to make it as comfortable as possible. I know that talking on camera can be a little weird because I'm used to doing online radio, but I've decided to do it this way. So it's like talking to old friends that you haven't seen in a very long time. So I try to make it comfortable. And of course, I have lots of people here that watch. They're always engaging. So I love it when you guys ask questions. Please, if you have questions, no matter what it is, make sure to post it so that both of us can see it and respond. And like he said, you can follow him on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and everything in between, which I've already got him on Instagram here. So if you do follow me on Instagram, you'll see him right on there. So follow, ask questions. You got any financial stuff going on? Ask him. Very interesting. So I even asked questions. So and I got some insight as well. So now I know who I'm going to turn to when I have a question. So yeah. I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. I won't because I will be working. So yeah, there's that. So, but it's not so bad. You know, I have to get up in like 6 hours, but it's well worth it. So I unfortunately still need to pay those credit card bills. So I shop too much. Don't we all? Yeah. So my gram and my sisters and John, welcome. Thank you for watching. Chris Evans, hello. I know everyone's kind of moved over to Daniel's show. Yeah, so that's that. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will see everyone on Thursday. So there's that. All right, everyone. Goodbye. Have a good weekend. And thanks again, Anthony.